Hey guys, it's Bobby Armijo here. I'm gonna tell you today about the top 3 rules Jiu-Jitsu taught me as an entrepreneur. All right, so don't forget to like and subscribe because every single Thursday I plan to drop these videos to give you more information about how to get your academy retention, more students, less headache, and make sure you actually make some money. So let's get right into it. Talent does not beat preparation. What do I mean by that? Well, I came to Jiu-Jitsu at the age of 33. I wouldn't say I was the most athletic person in high school, but I played football. I did wrestling, played a little volleyball, state champion in lacrosse. Hate to brag about that, but little humble brag. And then, life happened. Didn't do much after high school, and finally got my stuff together. In my late 20s, started boxing. Boxing was fun, good way, to hit the bag, lose some weight, get in shape. Then I found Jiu-Jitsu and thought that, okay, so I can go into this sport with some athletic background and, I can just show up and, spar people or whatever, or roll and I'll be fine. And what I quickly found out was that people who were not as athletic as me, not as big as me, were much better than me. So even though we were going the same amount of frequency per week, per month, same belt level, what I noticed is that those people that stayed a little bit longer after class, or they watched videos or whatever, like they were doing the work off the mat that made them better. And I found out the really hard way in a competition. So the first time, I don't compete much, but the first time I competed was at white belt. I thought I knew Jiu-Jitsu because I was doing okay against some guys in the gym. And I went to the competition, the American Nationals, and I lost in the first round in about a minute. So I had 0 takedown skills whatsoever, and I ended up landing on my own head trying to take the guy down, got dazed, and the guy choked me, and that was it. So first round, first fight, first minute, done. Hard lesson. I almost quit Jiu-Jitsu after that, actually. I remember the feeling of being in the stands, thinking to myself, oh man, did that just happen? And it bothered me for probably a month. Instead of quitting, of course, what I said is screw that. I've got to learn how to do Jiu-Jitsu overall, just got to get better. And so my preparation changed. Then I went to Pan Ams that same year, and I took second in Pan Ams at white belt, which nothing special. But the point was that I realized that my preparation was lacking. I was preparing the way that I thought was going to win or do okay because that's what was happening in the gym. But I realized that live game speed is a totally different thing. And so my preparation was only designed around the gym, and it wasn't designed around competing. And so that was a big mistake for me, but I learned the hard way. And so it taught me that preparation in business is the same thing. So anytime I was on a sales call, or anytime I had a big meeting with a partner or with a potential partner or with something big, I prepared. And so I noticed that my preparing for those things changed the outcome a lot. So I hate to use the word a lot, but it's a good descriptive word of the difference in the outcome was substantial. And something I still follow today, or I try to follow today, is making sure I prepare. So if I have a phone call that, for an interview, I'm going to interview new staff for one of our locations. If I'm going to have a meeting with some of our current people, if I'm going to talk to, legal counsel for various reasons, or brokers, or whatever the case is, I'm preparing for that call. And even though it might only be 5 or 10 minutes, it changes the outcome of the call almost always, because there's an intention I have going into the call, and I know already ahead of time what to expect, most likely because I'm playing it through my head of how the conversation should go. So again, rule number 1, talent does not beat preparation. Okay, so rule number 2 is do what's right. And what do I mean by that? This actually came from Roger Gracie and also Fabio Gurgel when I interviewed them for my book, Jiu-Jitsu Bravehearts. Go check it out. It is available on Amazon, although I haven't had an official release. You can technically buy the book, but anyway. They told me in that book, and you'll see, is that, hey, look, when you can do something rude to someone or hurt someone on the mat, when you become a level above them, your character will show. And it will show in the sense that if you're an advanced blue belt or advanced white belt or advanced any belt, and you have the opportunity to kind of give a little more pressure, kind of hurt somebody, and I don't mean by breaking their arm, but I mean just being a little bit rude to some of your teammates in a way that you probably shouldn't be. Again, culturally, it should never happen like that. But I think the point they were trying to make is that, generally speaking, your character will come out on the mat, right? And so if you are an aggressive, rude roller to somebody who's a 50-year-old who sits behind a desk and you train every day, beating him up and hurting him, or just being overly aggressive is not, it's not something people forget. And it's definitely not something that you want to be aligned with your name. So you don't want to be known as the person who takes advantage of weaker, smaller, less experienced people. Again, most academies are people who are going there to train and have fun. They're not going there to win any titles. Again, I've only competed a handful of my times in my life. Great time, but not everyone's a competitor, including me. I don't love it, but I have done it. And again, people are not going there to compete to your gym, most likely. So just do what's right. So when it comes to the business side, is doing what's right is important, especially when no one's looking. And so that includes all your customers, all your students, all your vendors, your partners. It's making sure you're doing what's right. So not trying to rip people off, not trying to go against what you said you were going to do, right? Your word is everything. If there's a moment where you can take advantage of somebody, in particular financially, don't, because it will come back to haunt you. And I think for those reasons, I feel that doing what's right applies to both jiu-jitsu and in business. And the third rule is patience. So what do I mean by patience? I don't mean by sitting back watching the clock. I mean patience as in jiu-jitsu. If you are progressing in your positions with folks and you're getting ready to pass, not trying to jump to the pass. When you're getting ready to mount, you may have been in those situations where you try to throw your leg over and the guy grabs your leg and all of a sudden you're in half guard, right? Patience in the sense that you should make sure that you have that path cleared before you're actually going to that step. It's kind of counterintuitive because we want to rush to something, but there's a reason why you should have patience in jiu-jitsu. And the main reason is so you understand the position. You understand what's happening behind the position. You also are making your opponent work. Making your opponent work during the roll is the objective. The objective is not to make you work, because at the end of the day, we only have so much energy, our opponent and us. And so if you're the one working all the time, your energy is the one that's being depleted, not your opponent. So patience in the sense that, hey, maybe I'm in a bad spot. Specifically, if I'm in a bad spot and someone is mounted on me or they're on side control, I'm not just flailing my arms and just going crazy and just like running my energy down. I need to wait for the right moment to then upa or explode or try to roll out, go to turtle or whatever the case is. So patience when you're in a good spot, but specifically patience when you're in a bad spot, because just flailing around, wishing and hoping and trying to muscle yourself out of a bad spot, you're going to find that you're going to get tired and then you're going to get submitted, which is a kill at the end of the day, right? Joe Rogan talks about that. Is tapping essentially is like you're admitting to death, right? You're admitting that you just got killed. So even if it's your arm bar, likely if that person breaks your arm, they could then kill you by then attacking you somewhere else. So it doesn't have to always be a choke, but it's essentially a kill, right? So that's what a tap is. So patience on the flip side for entrepreneurship is we get in bad spots all the time. And that includes me, that includes any business person I've ever met. I'm lucky enough to have some friends that are, billionaire investors who are black belts in jiu-jitsu. And so we just happen to be friends over jiu-jitsu, and they also deal with problems, but they don't always rush in a decision. They understand that sometimes this is just part of the game, and they make very careful decisions on what's next. So again, they're not just scrambling to rush out of a bad economy or rush out of a bad deal or just rush into making a poor decision. And so at the end of the day, patience in entrepreneurship, when things are not going well, you have to toe the line a little bit, because of course, if something's going terribly, you need to get out of that situation. You have to get out as soon as you can. On the flip side, there are some decisions that are irreversible. So in those kinds of decisions, you want to be very careful on how to approach it and make sure you have all the information that you need to make that decision moving forward. Just like jiu-jitsu, you must show patience and you must show resolve in that, hey, this sucks. This is not the greatest position for me, but I'm going to figure a way out and I'm going to find a way out. I'm not going to tap, I'm not going to quit, but I'm going to remain patient before I move forward to the next step. All right, guys, thanks for watching today's video. And like I said before, please like and subscribe. I drop these videos every Thursday, long format, give you guys insight to all the things that I've learned through business, through jiu-jitsu, and specifically how those things interlink. So again, make sure you like and subscribe, check out those videos, and please leave a comment. Reach out to me on other platforms and let me know what it is you guys want me to talk about. Probably also see 2 more recommendations. Check those videos out. I think you'll like it. And again, see you guys next time.